when I'm pulling selects, I'll create like scenes, but I'll just like put everything in a timeline, and I just make like big breaks, big gaps. So
I do the same. Yep.
Okay.
I do the same.
So that like things are kind of like just spaced out into like, oh, there's a group of clips here. That's a scene. There's another group of clips. That's another scene.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's, I think especially for the turnaround time, that is brilliant, because it's like you film all morning, you do that real fast, and then typically in a lot of events, you have to go back out for the second half of the day.
Right.
And just being able to come back to that at night, because you're going to forget. I mean, you might remember, but you're going to forget most of it. Mm-hmm. If you've never seen it before, that's a whole nother thing. So it's like, if you have the grouped aspects, so I'll even group it sometimes, like, here are my establishing, here's the actual event, here's the individual, like, I'll do it by athlete. So there's no right or wrong way. I don't think. I think you just
really
kind of
just what works for you.
Exactly. What works for you. But it's important to group them so that you know what's happening.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the times too, like, I'll get like interview footage. And what I have really only started doing this recently, but it's really helped me. Like, so I have like my selects timeline, and then I'll do another timeline like with all my interview footage. And that's only for like, I guess, like actual sit-down interviews. That's going to be intercut with the entire edit. But I've been putting that into like its own timeline. So I kind of lay out like the interview structure in its own timeline too.
Yep. No, I that's smart. I mean, that's especially when you're dealing with so many different interviews and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. If you can separate them, you know, whether it's by athlete or whatever file system or setup you want to utilize, I always like to pull, like, for a thing I did recently, like, same type of thing. I laid out the interview that I had beforehand, and then I pulled different parts that I know would make sense, pull that into a separate timeline, and then have that laid down as my audio. First lay down the music, then lay down that, then lay all of any type of B-roll that I have and start shifting that over into the spots that make sense. So yeah, if you have stuff organized like that, it just makes things a lot faster, so you're not searching for things and all that. I think that's the overarching of all of this, is like, by you clearly labeling and by putting things into the proper structure, you then allow yourself for a quicker turnaround time at the end of the day when you forget what you shot or the order you shot it in or what happened here or whatever it is.
For sure. I don't know, if you're just like making a reel, sometimes you just export and that's all you do with it. But I mean, for, I guess, projects that maybe have a little bit more thought behind them, and you're like, oh, like, I really want it to be perfect. Like, if you want to do a revision later, even if you want to do a revision like that same day, I think it's really helpful just to like kind of know where everything is.
Yeah.
So.